Hey everybody, I'm Nicholas Skinner with Skinner Games, and you're here for another game reviews in 5 minutes or less. In this episode, we'll be talking about Absolute Tabletop's adventure kit, The Shadows Over Driftchapel. Absolute Tabletop is an independent publisher of 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons material. Their team consists of Matt Click, Tim Kearney, Michael Barker, and James Kearney. The cover art and interior art is done by Alexander Kostic. But the art is super evocative of the setting, and even the pages of the book itself that really illustrate the encroaching darkness that the Gloam represents. We have this page border. You can see there's tentacles and eyeballs and lots of other things going on. You can get a better view here. Here's another amazing just full page spread to kind of illustrate this Lovecraftian Gloam in a fantasy setting. So you got some fishmen here that's evocative of a particular town in Lovecraftian mythos, and you got just a bunch of grimdark adventurers here trying to get in front of this. So this was a Kickstarter project, and only the PDF has been released so far, so that's what we'll be reviewing today. Now what's interesting about this adventure kit is that it's not just an outright adventure. It doesn't give you the adventure bubbles and the things to read, is that it gives you the elements to build endless adventures. You don't just get the one play and you're done with an adventure, but you get a bunch of little things that you can do that customize, for instance, building the town of Driftchapel that your players are going to explore. Now they have an interesting method here to do that, and it's a dice drop map. So you grab a fistful of dice, you drop it on a piece of paper, and wherever those dice land is a building or another site that the players can explore. And it really gives you a nice innovative way to create a new section of town anytime you need it. They also give you rules for guns. Not like automatic weapons, but the flintlock variety, which I know is kind of a hot button issue for some people, whether or not to allow guns in a fantasy setting. Now, the basic setting of this and the basic premise is that the kingdoms of men have kind of risen up against the old magics of dwarves and elves and have more or less destroyed them. Well, in the destruction of these elves and dwarves, it has opened up a pathway for darkness to come through, and that darkness is consuming the land in which the adventurers live. A really wonderful mechanic in here is its randomized quest and adventure hooks. So you can legitimately get a different thing every time you play. I'm not going to go into too much detail about what the adventure entails because I don't want to ruin it for any players that may potentially watch this video. There are a lot of really fun encounters and a lot of really interesting situations that they set up in this adventure kit. Like one that I really like is the Call of the Idol. So there's an idol somewhere in Driftchapel and the players have to go find it. What I really like about this is that it's this kind of malevolent force in the game, and the players don't know where it's coming from. You do get some NPCs with just some basic elements to outline who and what they are and the roles that they play in the setting, but it gives you a lot to the imagination, so it allows you to use them in whatever way you really want. And it gives you a bunch of new monsters also to use. For instance, you just get mad townsfolk, so people who are just a-bit crazy. You get servants of the Gloam like Shadowlings and Deep Ones. Of course, new treasures. And one thing that I absolutely adore, madness. Because what's life without a little bit of crazy? But my absolute favorite part of this rulebook is just the random monsters. And it isn't just random monster generators like, here's a hallway full of goblins and maybe we'll throw in some kobolds. No, it is the monster itself is randomly created. So you roll D% and it gives you the classification of what it is, whether that's undead or aberration. And then you can further refine it by rolling on more randomized tables to figure out how this monster behaves. There are also quick monster stats that you can just pop something out real quick and maybe give it a special ability. Things like damage immunity or regeneration, something to just really mess with the players just on the fly. There are also just random trap generators because everybody needs traps in their lives. There's also a really great NPC generator. There's a really wonderfully written short fiction and a gazetteer to outline the once great 5 kingdoms that have now been attacked by the Gloam, and they are all that remain of sanity in a dark world. But all in all, I give the Shadows Over Driftchapel 2 really big thumbs up. This is a really exciting supplement. I'm really looking forward to throwing a lot of these elements at my own players at my own table. If you guys are watching this, you've been warned. And highly recommend any product that Absolute Tabletop has put out. If you found this review helpful, please give us that thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, hit the bell wherever the bell will be located so that you can get a notification whenever we release a new video. If there's anything you guys would like to see specifically, please leave us a note in the comments below and consider supporting us on Ko-fi or Ko-fi, depending on how you want to pronounce it. It works kind of like Patreon, but it's just a one-time donation. Anything donated helps us to be able to review them for you guys. Check out our other show as well, Retro Role Playing, where we play through a lot of these games so you can see how they work at the table. Thanks for watching, and as always, happy gaming.